Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Walker Mill Middle School. Yay. Yay. I am Jason Washington, Director of Public-Private Partnerships for Prince George's County Public Schools, and it is my esteemed pleasure and honor to welcome all of you to our kickoff groundbreaking of Blueprint Schools program, the first of 6 over the next 3 days. The Blueprint Schools is an ambitious, first of its kind public-private partnership that will build and maintain 6 schools across the county, creating 8,000 seats, world-class facilities that our students will enjoy in 2 years. A process, if using the traditional model, would have taken roughly 7 to deliver just 1. We're able to deliver 6 in 2 years. What's also exciting is that the average age of the schools that we are replacing is 58 years old. And so the time is now, and we are excited to get started. I would like to welcome all of you, all of our elected officials, county and district leadership, community stakeholders, and our valued partners. We are here today because of your hard work, your resilience, and dedication, innovation, and yes, your prayers. Today, you will hear from Prince George's County local and state leaders, PGCPS leadership, and our partners in this endeavor, Prince George's County Education and Community Partners, and Gilbane Building Company. You will also hear a brief history of Blueprint Schools and those who made it possible. But most importantly, we will begin our program from hearing from the leader of this school, Principal Aaron Cribbs, and student Marcus Bryant. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. So my name is Erin Cribbs, and I am the proud principal here at Walker Mill Middle School. Dr. Monica Golston, our Chief Executive Officer, Board of Education Chair, Dr. Juanita Miller, Board of Education Member Belinda Queen, County Executive Angela Alsobrooks, and all of our esteemed guests. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the groundbreaking ceremony for the new home of the Mighty Panthers. I want to travel down memory lane to 1970, when the building that currently houses Walker Mill opened with 900 students and 45 faculty members and staff. The time marked the rise of disco, the Concorde's first supersonic flight, Jumbo Jet went into flight, and the observance of the very first Earth Day. We stand here today, some 50 plus years later, having survived a global pandemic, widespread protest over systemic racism, and the rise of the cicadas after a 17-year hiatus. We have witnessed the first woman, African American, and the first South Asian women to hold the office of the Vice President of the United States, the first woman, Sarah Thomas, to officiate a Super Bowl, and 21-year-old Chris Nickett became the first athlete with Down syndrome to complete in the Ironman triathlon. No matter what has occurred over the years, Walker Mill has persevered, whether it was world events, shifts in community populations, or new ideas in education. The Mill, as we affectionately call it, has and will continue to be a beacon of education for those who desire to lead, reach, and impact the world. Now I would like to introduce you to Marcus Bryant. He is an outstanding scholar here at Walker Mill who was recently promoted to the 9th grade. During his entire 8th grade year, he remained on the honor roll as a principal's awardee by maintaining a 4.0 to 4.2 GPA. He has a strong interest in agriculture and won the science fair. I'm not finished bragging on you, Marcus. He has a strong interest in agriculture and won the overall science fair by placing first in three categories: Broadcom Masters Federal Water Quality Association and Earth and Environmental Sciences this school year. He is an exceptional scholar who is also a member of our National Junior Honor Society. This fall, he will attend Charles Herbert Flowers and enter into our Science and Technology program. Please welcome Mr. Marcus Bryant.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Marcus Bryant. When I first heard about the rebuilding of our school, I was astounded. There are so many rumors about it, but it was never really confirmed. And although I won't be able to attend or use this new school, I am happy that it is getting rebuilt. The rebuilding of Walker Mill will definitely lead to changes in our school other than the look. The most important change will be the reputation. When I was in fifth grade, I was honestly a little nervous to go to Walker Mill. I heard so many negative things about it from people who didn't even go to the school. Even now, if I were to tell someone where I went, they wouldn't know about the school at all. I'm hoping that the rebuilding of this school will either change that or mark the beginning of changing that. Having this new school will be the catalyst or building block to the improvement of Walker Mill Middle School. The new school will, in theory, bring in new teachers, something that has been declining lately in the US, staff, and most importantly, students. I know that I am very excited to see the new school, so I'm sure that newcomers will have the same reaction even if they haven't been here yet. Anyway, since I do not have too much time, I'll end off with this. The rebuilding of Walker Mill Middle School will be the first step in ensuring that all future, current, and past students will truly be proud to say that Walker Mill Middle School was their school. Thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce Speaker of the House, the Honorable Adrian Jones.
Good morning. So you have me following Marcus, huh? Don't know if I can. Where'd he go? Oh, there you are. You did well, and I thank you for all the good things that I know you're going to be doing in the future. So I'll be looking out for your name and seeing your face. Okay, I got that right now. So, good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be back here in Prince George's County to take the next step in what we started a few years ago. 2 years ago, one of my first events after becoming speaker was to stand with County Executive Alsobrooke, President Pro Tem Melanie Griffith, President Bill Ferguson, and President Emeritus Mike Miller, and other General Assembly members at Forest Heights Elementary School. Just a few miles down the road when we announced House Bill 1, the Built to Learn Act, the single largest investment in school construction in Maryland history. It was important for me to attend that event, not just as my role as speaker, but also as someone who has committed my legislative career to improving opportunities for our students. Every student deserves the best possible school with the best possible educational outcomes and the best possible opportunity to compete for a job, regardless of their zip code. The $2.2 billion investment delivers on that promise starting today. Breaking ground on the new Walker Mill Middle School upholds our commitment to building state-of-the-art facilities for Maryland students and making our schools the best in the nation. Not only are we building new state-of-the-art schools, but we are investing in what's inside of these buildings. Starting this year, students across Maryland will have access to more funding, better technology, as well as more creative curriculum and programming, all through the Blueprint for Maryland's Future, a 10-year education plan to make sure that every child in this state can compete in the global economy. I want to take a moment to thank a few of your Prince George's delegates who help us to ensure passage of this historic school construction investment, as well as the Blueprint for Maryland's Future. First, Chairman Derek Davis, who I often refer to as the other Derek Davis, who, who is and always will be a tireless advocate for Prince George's County. Next, Delegate Ben Barnes, who figured out how to make the funding work for this historic investment. And finally, Delegate Alonzo Washington, who worked to put the policies in place for our 10-year investment in Maryland students. And of course, none of this could have been possible without the tireless leadership of the two women leading your county and your schools, County Executive Angela Alsobrooks and Dr. Monica Goldston. He wasn't invited. Okay. Thank you both for your continued investment in our students' futures. I'm sorry I had to leave around 10. Believe it or not, my staff put me in 3 different counties today, all before 12 noon. But I hope that each of you take a moment to really appreciate the significance of this day, and then let's get back to work because our children deserve no less. Thank you again, and take plenty of pictures.
Good morning. I'm Sean Matlock, the Director of Capital Programs, and I'm very happy that everyone is here this morning to celebrate this new school. Now, I'm here to give you a brief synopsis of the history of this program, so I'm going to try to do that. So, first off, we wouldn't be here without 2 pieces of legislation. The first one was a modification of the construction laws that allowed us to do this with our county. The second was legislation passed by our county council that created a work group and created a law that allowed us to actually do this as a school. Those 2 things kicked this off. We have gotten enormous support from our county executive, our county council, our school board leadership, our school leadership, who looked at me like I was a little crazy when we got started with this. Now, to be honest, we're doing this because we don't have enough money. That's the bottom line. We have a need for $8.5 billion for the next 20 years, and we're not going to get a third of that. And as a result, we had to be creative in our approaches to construction. And the ACF was one of those tools that we're using to spread out our money and make it work best for us. Now, the legislation created a work group. That work group included members of the county council, members of the school board, members of the county executive administration, and members of the school administration. I'd like to mention some of these people because they won't otherwise get mentioned a lot of times. I want to thank council members Galeros Todd Tolliver, um, uh, Calvin Hawkins, and Sydney Harrison for their participation on the work group. I want to thank members of their team, Donna Whitman, Leroy Maddox, Inez Claggett, who has also worked on this. I want to thank Board Member Williams, who is a member of the work group, Stanley Early, who is the director of OMB, who is a very critical member of the board, Erica Berry Wilson, who is very much a critical member of this committee, and an unofficial member of the work group who did a lot of critical work in relation to this is Denerica Johnson. Denerica is our procurement officer, and she helped guide us through this whole process. And altogether, this team worked very well. And there were members of my team, Elizabeth Chason, Shayla Jackson, and a lot of other people who are very much involved in this process. And I want to say that we're moving now to get through roughly 10 schools in our first 31 of schools in our cycle 1. And cycle 1 is the first of 4 cycles for school construction. And they're the ones in the most need. When we rank facility grades, schools like Walker Mill got a 5 out of 25 points. So these schools are desperately needed to improve the condition and to move our system forward and to help our students grow and become stronger. At this point, I'd like to terminate my conversation here and introduce one of our more dynamic new board members, Belinda Queen, who has become our best friend for the Department of Capital Programs, as she's been very active in the Central High School project, the District Heights project, and very active in this project. So if you welcome Board Member Queen, please come on up.
Gotta pull this down, y'all. First of all, I'd like to say good morning. Good morning to everybody. Okay, we're gonna break the atmosphere. I'm under the welcoming, so we're gonna welcome you guys. I know Sean talked, but I'm a different type of talker. So first of all, in part of doing a welcome, I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, I'm glad you're here. And then I want you to turn to the other side. Okay, then I want you to turn around and tell your next neighbor and say, I'm glad I'm under the tent. Well, I am so glad that you are here, right here on the Brown Graken or Walker Mill Middle School, and I am so glad that a lot of you are under the tent. My name is Board Member Belinda Queen, as stated, and guess what? You can see my house from here. I live 3 houses over from Walker Mill Middle School. Born and raised here, right here in Prince George's County, so I am so excited to be here. First of all, a lot of thanks were given to so many people, but I want to thank the local people, not just our legislation. I would appreciate the money that you guys fought really hard, Ms. Jones, to send here. We truly appreciate it. But I want to thank the local people who had to face the people every day in our communities, who had to be boots on the ground. And when the constituents and the parents were like, when are we going to get new schools? That they were the ones who had to face these people. I want to thank, first of all, my senator, Senator Melanie Griffins, my council member Derek Davis, and all the other leaders in our communities who live here, who not only work here and play here, but have to shop and go in the stores with a lot of our local residents. And our community leaders, I know Ms. White is out there somewhere, but I want to thank our community leaders also, like Ms. White and Ms. Daisy. And D25, I see you, Nick Charles. I definitely will not forget D25 as a team. So thank you guys so very much. So as I say my speech real quick, I want to say greetings. Thank you for joining us to celebrate the groundbreaking of the new Walker Mill Middle School. As we mark the beginning of construction, we reaffirm the ideas for which this bill will stand. For decades to come, our middle school will serve the needs of Prince George's County Public School scholars. I always share how we have some of the brightest, most innovative techies right here in Prince George's County.
With a portfolio value of $15 billion. While we have been a valued member of the infrastructure community in Canada since 2006, we are rapidly expanding our work in the U.S. infrastructure market with several key projects, and we look forward to developing more schools and more infrastructure assets for thriving jurisdictions like Prince George's County, Maryland. We are excited to be a part of this long-awaited day, a milestone that is truly the first of its kind here in the U.S. And we are incredibly thankful to be one of the many partners that are part of the collaborative planning efforts that have brought this historical project to fruition. We are also proud to be a part of the project's $1 million endowed fund, supporting scholarships, student internships, mentoring opportunities, and apprenticeships across the county. When this project is complete, the Walker Mill community will not only have a beautiful state-of-the-art school for its students and educators, but it will also be one step closer to helping fulfill Prince George's County economic development goals. I would like to take the time to thank those who helped us reach this milestone, for without your personal investment in the project, we would not be here. First, I would like to thank our county executive, Ms. Angela Also Brooks, my soror. I would also like to thank Dr. Monica Golson, my new soror, the PGCPS is the Chief Executive Officer, the PGCPS executive team, and our key partner from PGCPS, and my counterpart for this project, Mr. Jason Washington, Director for the PGCPS Public-Private Partnerships Program. Thank you for believing in us and choosing the PGC ECP team to take on this historical project. We are honored to be serving the Prince George's County community and look forward to the continued development of this long-term relationship. To our key partners in this project, Gilbane Development Company, Gilbane Building Company, Stantec, Cornick Construction, Warren Builds, Aero Architects, Honeywell, and a whole host of subcontracting partners, we thank you for your dedication and hard work to the development of this project. We are a team of professionals who take this project and our partnership with PGCPS to heart. We look forward to delivery of this beautiful new school of our future for our future leaders of tomorrow. And finally, to our clients who believed enough in this project to invest in such a historical event here in the U.S. We are grateful for the trust you have placed in Fingate, in our investment approach, and of course, our projects. So I want to say to each and every one of you again, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are truly glad to be in the number.
Good morning. My name is Paul Choquette. I'm an Executive Vice President for Gilbane. We're operating as the design builder on this project. I want to start by saying thank you to all the people who made this exciting day possible. It's been an unusual year, as we all know, but I'm proud that we've remained nimble and flexible to get to this point, even against the backdrop of the global pandemic. I want to recognize the elected leaders here today and those who could not be with us, but who consistently put the needs of students first. I obviously want to especially thank County Executive Angela Also Brooks, Prince George's County Public School CEO Monica Golson. You are fierce advocates for the residents and families you serve, and we at Gilbane are grateful for your continued insight and vision. To our consortium partners, Fengate, Stantec, Honeywell, Warren Builds, Cornick, and many more, we're grateful for the leadership, expertise you bring to the table. Working together, we are going to get this done on schedule and on budget and deliver a project that the community, Belinda's community, can be proud of. And we'll be right in your backyard. Your kids deserve safe and healthy environments, 21st century classrooms, the state-of-the-art learning opportunities. They deserve the best, and that's exactly what we intend to give them. Together with your support of many partners here today, we're not only going to build 6 new schools, but also chart new territory within an innovative public-private partnership. It'll benefit the 8,000 students that you serve currently and future generations of students and educators. At Gilbane, we have the honor of building some incredible projects. We build facilities that impact communities and the quality of life therein. For over 150 years and more than 40 years here in Maryland, Gilbane has built a strong record of success, including a growing portfolio of public-private partnerships, and we've assembled some incredible talent that the industry can provide. You want to provide a high-quality, equitable education for all your students. We want that too. And while we're at it, we're going to create good-paying construction jobs, support local businesses, and invest in your community in a meaningful way. Gilbane will be here with you the whole way to invest and provide service for these buildings for years to come. We are your neighbors. Thank you for allowing us to be part of this incredible project and for trusting us to demonstrate our experience and commitment throughout these school buildings. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I am Dr. Monica Goldson, the proud CEO for Prince George's County Public Schools. Today is a historic day for Prince George's County Public Schools as we celebrate a blueprint for success, a blueprint for action, and a blueprint for how to make ideas become reality. As I think of the planning and preparation it took to get us here today, I recall a telephone town hall that we hosted to talk about public-private partnerships. And a young man by the name of Roland Polite, a former student of Walker Mill Middle School, spoke and talked about the importance of having new schools for students. You see, he's now currently a student of Oxon Hill High School, one of our newer schools. And he talked about how he felt when he walked into a new school, and the opportunities that existed for him. And what he experienced is what he wants for all other students. He eloquently put what we have all been fighting for. And so today, when I pick up that shovel, I'm going to pick it up to represent the voices of 134,000 students, 19,000 employees who deserve to work in the best facilities possible, and for all their parents who want us to create memorable experiences that will propel their students to be amazing citizens, not only in Prince George's County, but across the nation. So join us today as we begin one of 6 over the next 3 days of schools that will be built in our community. And as Sean shared with you, 10. We have never before seen this in Prince George's County, and I am proud to lead for a time such as this. It gives me great pleasure now to introduce to you our amazing county executive, Angela Asa Brooks, who is a fierce advocate on education. She does it not only in the limelight, but behind the scenes. I get text messages in the evenings when no one's watching, asking questions about making sure that our students get the best experience possible. So what you get is a true, authentic county executive who loves education. So it gives me great privilege to introduce this amazing leader now. I so appreciate you.
Well, good morning, everybody. What a beautiful day in Prince George's County. And you know, as she took her seat, would you just do me a favor and give a rousing round of applause for the head of this school system, Dr. Monica Goldson. Her leadership, I tell you, is unmatched. We are so fortunate to have her here in Prince George's County. And if we didn't know it on a day like this, we certainly saw her during this pandemic lead in an amazing way to care for all of our students and teachers and families. So we just appreciate you so much. And it's been my honor to serve as county executive. And our CEO said it when she said, for a time like this. It really has been such a privilege. And I sat there, I realized that I think the weather symbolizes where we are in our county. When the winds of progress and change, I have to tell you, it's in our favor right now. I don't know whether you can feel it or not, but the sun and the winds of change are blowing in our favor. So this is a wonderful day as we break ground on the new Walker Mill Middle School building. And before I go further, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge some folks who you've heard from a bit. Our middle school principal here, Walker Mill Middle School Principal Erin Cribbs. Thank her again, please, for her leadership. I'd like to also say to our super bad, and I do mean bad, Maryland Speaker of the House, Adrienne Jones. Thank you so much for being here and for fighting for Prince George's County. I hope you heard some of the attitude in her voice. She loves Prince George's County, and we're grateful for that. I also want to thank our Senator, the President Pro Tem, Melanie Griffiths, another bad lady who's fighting on behalf of Prince George's County. You're going to hear from our County Council Chair, Calvin Hawkins, the People's Champion. Thank you, sir, for being here. You're going to hear from County Council Member Derek Davis, and we want to thank him also. And then Mel Franklin, another County Council Member at large. Thank you, sir. I saw, and I tell you, I was so happy to see him this morning, former board chair, Dr. Alvin Thornton, the Dr. Alvin Thornton, who was present with us this morning. I want to thank him for his continued leadership. He's a legend, and we're proud of him. Also, our board chair, Dr. Juanita Miller. I don't know whether she's here, but I know she will be for the groundbreaking this afternoon. Want to thank her. Board member Belinda Queen, so eloquently spoken. Thank you so much for her love and her leadership. And just thank all of you for taking the time to join us. To thank also Capital Programs Director Sean Matlock. Now, Sean, let me tell you, you all please applaud Sean Matlock. He does an amazing job. And it's not always so easy. He's the guy I've been with him in these meetings, and believe it or not, all of these schools are not well received. There are some people who have said, no, not now. Why don't we wait a little longer? We don't know that we want it, but Sean is steady and able. I want to thank him for pushing forward. Partners Project Executive Director Brandy Rogers McDonald, thank you again. And Gilbane Building Company Executive Vice President Paul Choquette, and thank him also for his presence and the entire Gilbane team who are here. And then what do we have to say about this scholar? If we needed any more reason why today is important, Marcus Bryant, the Marcus Bryant. We're going to say we knew him first and we knew him best. And he's, I've said it already, and I want to say it again, that Prince George's County grows greatness. Greatness grows here, and I think Marcus Bryant is yet another example of the greatness that is growing in Prince George's County. So today represents the latest step in a years-long process to make our children have access to the best education and facilities possible. And you all know, you've heard it already, that we've been waiting decades for new schools in Prince George's County. Our kids attend school in the state's second oldest schools. Over 40% of our buildings were constructed nearly 60 years ago. And Walker Mill, I believe, is the best example of this. You've heard that this school is nearly as old as I am. And I'm a solidly middle-aged woman. That this opened its door in 1970, and it was the county's first talented and gifted magnet school. It served our kids for so many years, and today is the beginning of a much-needed and much-deserved upgrade. That's why we've worked collaboratively. Again, Dr. Golson, a luminary and a visionary, Dr. Thornton, and I want to thank also our entire state delegation in Annapolis who push hard and fight hard for us to make sure that we get the funding that we deserve here. And as we break ground today, let me say that the benefits of this new school, for anybody who's wondering, extend far beyond just this school, but it also benefits our entire community. What we know is the hard-working families of Prince George's County deserve educational buildings that are befitting of their dignity. And we know as well that our children are an essential part, not only of our community, but they are who we look to as we reimagine the future of Prince George's County. And the investment that we make in them must signal to them what we believe of their future. They are our future workforce, they are our future residents, and our future leaders. And if we want them to be prepared for what tomorrow brings, today, now, is the time that we must deliver for them. And so thank you so much again for being here today. What a marvelous day this is. But again, I want you to know that the winds of progress, prosperity, and change are blowing in our direction. And I'm so grateful for it. And thank each and every one of you for being a part of it. Thank you.
Good morning. I want to say to Speaker Jones, you had a tough job following Marcus, but I have a tough job following this incredible county executive. Would you give her another round of applause? So folks, you all have been here a while and you've heard a lot of names called because that's what we have to do when important projects come to fruition, like the project that we're celebrating, the groundbreaking that we're celebrating today. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge a few of my colleagues as we celebrate this important occasion. And before I finish, and I'm going to try to be very brief and rapid fire, because even though I followed an incredible speaker, I know there are some phenomenal speakers coming behind me as well. So I just first want to acknowledge that this is about partnership at every level. And the folks that have been speaking so far, they're no strangers to Annapolis. They came to President Ferguson and Speaker Jones and said, not just we need this bill, we must have this bill. Our students deserve a state-of-the-art facility where they'll receive a state-of-the-art education, and they championed these projects alongside others to make sure that our students have access to the very best. And so I have to join with the others who've come before me in acknowledging probably one of the most dynamic leaders of our time, our county executive, Angela Also Brooks, who is about vision and purpose, and we want to thank you. I also want to acknowledge our CEO, who's been fighting tirelessly and sometimes a thankless role to stand on behalf of the students and families and this beloved community of Prince George's County, Dr. Monica Golson. Now, most of you know you're sitting in the 25th Legislative District, so I have to acknowledge first my predecessor, Senator Ulysses Curry, who fought like every fiber of his being, fought on behalf of this community. And Belinda and Daisy and Miss White, y'all know he was here again and again. And I want to acknowledge my colleagues, Delegates Derek Davis, Delegate Nick Charles, who's here, and Delegate Darrell Barnes, who have been fighting right alongside of us for this community. Now, Principal Krebs, this is a day whose time has come. We have been standing and fighting and working on behalf of this community, and we're so excited that at this time, while we're all looking at equity and inclusion, we heard from the equity partner on the project, and want to shout out Gilbane for your contributions. This has been a project that has been a long time coming. Every single member of the Prince George's Senate delegation stood and fought for this project. You heard Delegate Ben Barnes. We're fortunate in the county to have both capital budget chairs from Prince George's County. So Delegate Barnes and Senator Peters fought on the capital budget. But we also had Senator Benson and Senator Miller, Senator Rosapep, Senator Augustine, Senator Pinsky, Senator Jackson, working on behalf of this project. So what I'd like to do now, that I think I've thanked everyone, and if you haven't been thanked, you're about to. I want to see the hands of anyone who was alumni of this school and this area. Wave your hands or stand if you want to. Give them a round of applause. And every one of them distinguished. If you live in the Capitol Heights community, if you've served at this school through a neighborhood cleanup or volunteering for a program, attended a civic association meeting, if you're a part of the Capitol Heights community, would you wave your hand or stand and be acknowledged? Now, I saw Ron Watson here. I don't think he was an alumni of Walker Mill, but I know that, oh, you were that too. Okay, okay. So we have a lot of people in this community. We have our faith community. We have our nonprofit community, our civic and homeowners community. We have a true community partnering with government officials, partnering with business, partnering with students and families to bring an important project to fruition. I'm really proud to be here today. Madam Speaker, I'm proud to stand as a senator from the state of Maryland alongside you and all of those who have gathered to say, it's about time, Walker Mill. Thank you so much for having me.
Now introducing Council Chair, Mr. Calvin Hawkins. Oh, or, oh, y'all gonna sing, y'all singing?
Actually, this is our way of ensuring that Councilmember Dirk stays. Councilmember, everyone, before the speaker leaves, let's give her a Prince George's County welcome.
Thank you.
As I came up here this morning, I thought about earlier County Executive Dr. Golson. I went over to Forest Heights Elementary School, a school that I went to, and I thought about the promise of collaboration, the potential of commitment, how this phenomenal county executive, how this awesome school CEO and this great council that I only need 6 votes to change Monday to Tuesday. I thought about what this means. 6 schools. You've heard it all. Calvin Hawkins does not need to say anything. But what I will say, Mrs. White, to all those, as Dr. Thornton would say, would get in the way of educating our babies, the children of our Prince George's County public school system. Dr. Thornton, when you fought for a long time by yourself about what's important for the students in Prince George's County, the ones you affectionately call your babies. We promote Kerwin, but we know before Kerwin, there was a Thornton. And this day, Doc, as we go around talking about these 6 schools, it was a result of your courageous commitment, unwavering sacrifices to ensure that this discussion about public education in the state of Maryland kept the issues of Prince George's County at the forefront. And fortunately for you, you are living to see your vision because we have a dynamic CEO and an awesome county executive that's making this a reality. The school board, the county council, we are partners, but without the leadership of those 2 individuals, Melanie Griffith as senator and all you state officials who are here, believing that our county executive's integrity is so much committed to this county that we can rally around her and take care of the business of our children, who Dr. Thornton called our babies. With that said, because I'm trying to keep 6 votes at a minimum on the council, I'll yield to my colleagues.
All right. Let's give Council Chair Calvin Hawkins a round of applause.
Reverend Hawkins. Well, this is a day the Lord has made, and we are rejoicing, and we are glad in it, right? Amen. Amen. Well, I'm Mel Franklin. I'm going to be very brief because really the main attraction is behind me. No, it's him. But I just wanted to briefly say it is a proud day to be a Prince Georgian, right? This is a good day. It feels great. This is the best place to invest in, the best people to invest in, the best young people to invest in the best region in America, in Prince George's County. When we invest in our students, our young people, we empower our young people. And I stand here as a proud public school dad of this school system, brimming with joy at seeing this groundbreaking one of 6 that's coming just this week. And we'll be at all of them, right, Calvin? But it is a privilege to be among you. I just wanted to say this is Team Prince George's County. I'm not going to go through and thank everybody that's been thanked, but you see the work of Team Prince George's County. The one thing I want to hit on in a big way is when we invest our dollars, let's make sure we're spending them with our minority businesses here in Prince George's County. Let's give those businesses, they're represented in this room in the back, a round of applause. I see you. That is how we're going to grow generational wealth here in Prince George's County. When we spend these dollars, let's make sure communities of color in Prince George's County benefit from that investment. God bless you. I'm going to bring on the District 6 council member who is District 6 in every fiber of his being, Derek Leon Davis.
Thank you, sir. So you already seen one attempt to restrain me, but I think everybody here knows that just doesn't work. You know, it's just a proud moment, and God did make a beautiful day for us to celebrate here. So let's first remember why we're here. He told us in Proverbs, I think it was 22:6, right? I see, where's Reverend, I saw Reverend Manning in the back. He'll know that we need to train up our children in the way to go. This is that day where the manifestation of that proverb comes together in the community. Think about what you just heard. Every single facet of government was involved in making this happen for Prince George's County. Without a change in the state law, without a county council bill, without collaboration between the county executive, the state legislature you heard mentioned, we could not climb an $8 billion hill. Dr. Goldson breezed by that real fast, I believe it was, or it was either Dr. Goldson or Jason, one. $8.5 billion is what it would take to bring our school system to a state of repair so that all 136,000 children that we're responsible for could have a Class A top-notch education. And we're getting started today, and I'm about to do the happy dance up in here. Because they say, as Dr. Golson said earlier, and I think it might have been, matter of fact, Madam County Executive, didn't you talk about favor? You did. But at my church, I'm a member of the First Baptist Church of Glen Arden, and often I hear Pastor Jenkins say, favor ain't fair. That's what I'm talking about. Because we need some unfair realities that started back when Dr. Thornton started the Thornton Commission to bring to bear both capital improvement money and operation money here to Prince George's County. I don't want to make it too difficult, but the reality is that we need each other so that my friend Marcus, when he matriculates from Walker Mill over to Flowers, he gets to do his happy dance and tell those folks who were naysayers that he graduated from the Walker Mill Middle School, where the other Derek Davis is a delegate. And the Derek Davis that stands here is a council member. And Ron Watson, who also matriculated here, is a state delegate. We do the happy dance because we know favor ain't fair, and our parents and community raise their children in the way they should go. I didn't come here to preach. I didn't. But I did come here to say that this is the effort that is Prince George's County at its very best. So every Prince Georgian and our newly adopted Prince Georgian from Baltimore County, the Speaker of the House, let's give each other a big round of applause. My colleagues have already expressed to you the importance of the moment. But what I want to make sure I express to you is as we begin this journey, is to know that this is the beginning of the journey. This is the beginning. $8.5 billion is a big number. We're scratching the surface here with 6 opportunities. There are many more that we have to ensure. We have overcrowding in the northern part of our county. We have aging infrastructure throughout our county. So we need you to become the disciples and understand that you have to take what you've seen here today, this collective effort. You have to understand it and begin to take it out to other people so that throughout this nearly 1 million person county, we can have celebrations like this that take care of all of our children. Can y'all do that? Nah, that wasn't enthusiastic enough for me. If you want me to shut up, you better get happy about doing it. Yeah, it's getting hot up here. But the reality is that heat is the heat we need to keep this going. So I'm going to take my leave, and I believe I am the only thing standing between you, the dirt, and us having a celebration. Is that right, Dr. Golson? That right, Ms. Alsabrooks? We about done? We about to put a shovel in some dirt? We're about to get this thing popping in Prince George's County. We're about to make sure that we have the very best school system that anyone can want. And you know, the better our schools, the better our economic development opportunities. So those businesses that want to come here, they're looking at us today. So I need everybody to get up, get on up, let's get up. And let's get over here and break some ground. Let's make it happen. Take that mask off. You will be one day. You look a lot better in this hat than I do. Thank you. Yeah. That's right. This is where we put it.
Where?
Just lower your head, please.
You want to in or out?
In. All right, y'all, looking this way. Everybody looking this way. Even if you have a shovel, you're not near the dirt. Look this way to me. We're going to look this way, smiling on 3, please. Hold on. Back up here, guys. Looking this way on 3, guys. You good. 1, 2, and 3. One more. Squeeze in some more. Come on. There you go. Oh, yeah. My wife made it. Yeah. There it is. There you go. There you go. Get dirty. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3.
Did you say your height?
1, 2, and 3. All right, look at here. Look at here. You got it? Okay. All right, look this way. Look this way.
Can we throw it forward?
You might as well. Get on 3, y'all. 1, 2, and 3. All right. There you go. All right. There you go.